Okay, I'll just pass this one around to tick like last time. Okay, we'll continue now. Can we see that? Yeah, we can. Ready? Not ready? Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, sleepy students, time to continue. Oh, come on, you're not that tired, are you?
It's hot.
It is hot in Ireland, isn't it? You're also wearing a sweater and a hat. Yeah, that might help some. Okay, so what we're going to look at now in this lesson is how to draw these quadratics we've been working with. Now actually, I already have talked a little bit about the shape. They come in two types. You can have ones like this, and you can have ones like this. And the difference here is this one, the A is a positive, and this one here, the A is a negative. Yep. Okay. So let's start with something, I don't know. Let's say minus x squared plus 2x minus 1. Let's say we want to draw that. Now, there are many different ways to draw it. So the simplest way to draw it is by just making a table. So you put the x here, put the y underneath, and we'll go from something like minus 4 to 4, we'll say. So we have to put all these values in here. So I'll put in minus 4 first. So if I put in minus 4, I'll get minus 4 squared plus 2 times minus 4 minus 1. What's that going to be? Minus 16 minus 8 minus 1, is it? Minus 25? No?
Yes.
Yes? I hope so. I'm a bit hungry, so I'm not certain, but it is minus 25. Now, the disadvantage with this method is it'll take a while to make all the points, right? But what I want to show you is that your calculator, not that one, your calculator can make this table for you. So those people with the Casio calculator, I'd like you to try and do this with me. Don't have it open. No, not that one. That one should be able to. How many people have a Casio calculator? Who has that Casio calculator? Sorry, I'm not clear. A good Casio calculator. Did you find the office? All fixed? You have to go again? Yeah, okay. I don't know if that can do it. It might be able to, but is that Casio?
It's the same model as mine.
It's the same. Yeah. If you have the silver Casio one, we'll use that one now. Okay. I mean, if you don't have it, you might be able to do it, but I'm not sure how to do it on your calculator. So anyways, we'll open up the Casio calculator here. I think if you press mode, can you just press mode?
Yeah? Oh, I know what you do.
You know already?
I think I know.
Mode, up the top here.
Setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Did you find it, Bruce? Jerry?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you have something like this now?
Yes.
Is one of the options table?
Yeah.
Table.
Okay.
Pick table. Pick table. You got that?
Yeah.
You know this mode on the calculator? You've seen it before? Yeah. Jerry, what's wrong? Have you found table?
I only have 4.
Yeah, and it's one of them table.
On the...
Table.
It's okay, we have that.
Yeah. There's only 4 to look at, and you found table.
Yeah, number 3.
Have you picked table? You should have this now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, let me just zoom out here. There we go. Right. So, we must first, thank you, we must first type in this. So we start off with minus. Oh, Jerry, what? Are you teaching? Thank you. Minus. And next we need x. The way to make x is you press alpha.
Okay.
Up the top here.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a confusion, I think, with the timetable, isn't there?
IST have you had class from too?
I have.
So,
Interesting. So those missing students were with you?
yeah, and my missing students were with you.
Nice. So now what do we do? Very interesting. That's not so interesting.
You got a timetable on?
No, I don't have it with me. I think the engineering and the science timetable says the same thing, isn't it? Maths double CAV and then this assessment at 4, yeah. Oh, I thought this was swapped down here. This is at 4.
Alright, okay, then it won't work.
To do the swap, so it has to be like this going forward then. Okay, so these guys are going to come down anyways now for a math class. So then that means the engineering timetable. Oh, because you made the swap on there. Yeah, alright, okay. So it has to go back to this way then. That's fine, that's fine.
Okay, well, so I'll make a change and just put that then there.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not starting the assessment support for next week anyway, so I'll just have the single math class now and I'll leave it at that then.
okay.
The good thing is they didn't miss too much in the first class because we were just doing the second half of the lesson we already started, so it's not a major thing anyways then. So are they coming down here now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we'll do the 1 hour now then.
Okay.
Business students. Yeah. There was a bit of timetable confusion. Everything is okay now. Everything is more than okay now.
Okay, so apologies for the confusion. So the assessment support, so Stephen will go through.
I'll tell my engineers what the story is with it then.
Yeah. ESAT at 2 o'clock.
B401.
B401. Yeah. Okay. I'll email you the notes that we used today. Okay.
How about last class?
Don't worry, I'll finish at 4 o'clock if this is what you're worried about. Okay, the people who just came in, I just started, so no, you didn't miss anything for this. If you can just take out your Casio calculator is what I started with. So all we've done so far is just this.
What phone did you say?
B401, wasn't it? So engineers, the only difference now for next week is on your timetable it has, I think, maths assessment support. It's the other way around now, assessment support, maths then.
Okay.
But we're still not doing the assessment support until next week anyway, so we'll finish today at 4 then. Okay. No, assessment support next week. We'll start next week. Yeah. Yeah, the assessment or the ESAP is at 2.
Yeah.
And then your maths is at 3 and 4 then. I don't think it really did your timetable have assessment support at 4?
Assessment support is for the engineering and science students.
Oh, so your timetable oh yeah, so you had so nothing has really changed here, has it? You still have ESAP and 2 hours of maths then. In fact, it's in the correct order here.
Well,
There's the room that was wrong then. Yeah.
the room was wrong.
I promise you didn't miss anything important in that class today. Don't tell Connell I said that. It'd be much worse if you missed the maths class than the ESAP. Okay, so people who just came in, what we're looking at is how people who just came in, what we're looking at is how to make a graph on the Casio calculator. So we were, I'll just restart it for the people who came in. So you press mode. Do you have this calculator? No. Mode table, and we type in our function, which is minus, and then to make an x, we type alpha, and the x is here, squared, plus 2 alpha x
Nothing.
minus 1. No, let's see. Did you press mode? Yeah, you got it? Yeah. Okay, so do you all have this on your screen if you have the Casio? You do? Good. Do you have this? Yeah. Okay, next you press equals, and we don't need this one. Your calculator won't say this, so don't worry. Okay, so start. This is where the table starts. So we want to start at minus 4 equals. End. Where do we want to end this table? 4 equals. And what do you think step means? Anyone know step? Step what? Yeah, what step? Yeah. How much you move. So in this table we're moving in 1 unit. So we leave it at 1. So the first value of x is minus 4, and it has a value of minus 25, which is what I said. But we now can just copy these values. The next one is minus 16. Yeah, did it not work for you?
No,
You must have just typed the function in wrong. If we just go back to it, minus alpha x squared plus 2 alpha x minus 1 minus 4 to 4, 1. Yeah, I just think you typed it in wrong. Just is there now. Next is minus 9. What's after that now? Minus 4, minus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 4, minus 9. Minus 1, minus 4, minus 9. And then we'll quickly draw this.
God bless.
I'm only going to draw this quickly, rough sketch. So we start at minus 25, then we go up to minus 16, minus 9, minus 4, minus 1, 0. So it goes like this, and this goes at 1, and then it comes back down. Not so pretty, but you get the idea. Now this isn't really the way to do it in the exam. You know, this is a long way, it's a messy way. So we'll look at another question now, but a different way to do it. Okay, can I scroll down? Do you have this? Not, yeah, go ahead, Joe. Got this? Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Next example. So before we draw any more quadratics, we just want to practice how to solve them. So let's say something like this. I want to solve this. One way we can solve it is by factorizing, something we did last week. So, we need two numbers that add to make 15 and multiply to make 54, so that's a 9 and a 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Factorizing is a very useful way to solve these, because what we've done is we have two things which multiply and the answer is 0. The only way that that can happen is if one of them must be 0. So we have x plus 9 must be 0, or maybe x plus 6 is 0. Which means we have x equals minus 9, or it is very important that you use the right word here. We say x equals minus 9 or x equals minus 6. We do not say x equals minus 9 and x equals minus 6. This is very wrong. Okay? Because that is like saying x equals a boy and x also equals a girl. Yeah, you can't really say this. You can say one of them, but not both of them, usually. Or maybe another. You can't say, basically the idea is you can't say x equals one thing and x equals something different. You know, it doesn't make sense to say that. It has to be one of them, it can't be both of them. So it actually is important that you say or here and not and that actually will become more important later. So just be careful. Maybe I'll take a mark away in the exam if you write and instead of or. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, factorizing makes it not too difficult to solve these. So let's go on to another method to solve them. So we saw how to factorize and we saw how to complete the square. X squared plus 12x minus 13 equals 0. We can solve this by completing the square. Let's see how that works. So first we have x plus, what's here? 6. And then here we have minus 13 minus 36, isn't it? Which is it? I don't think so. Minus 13 minus 36 is minus 49, isn't it? Minus 49 equals 0. Now, this isn't as easy as factorizing, but factorizing is not always possible. What to do next, now that we've written it like this, if we're trying to get x? Yeah, just bring the 49 over here. X plus 6 squared equals 49. Okay? Square root both sides. They cancel. And you're left with x plus 6 equals
minor and
Seven.
Plus or minus
Yeah, plus minus 7.
7.
Yeah.
You have two answers for this. So that means x equals minus 6 plus or minus 7. So our two answers, or yeah, if we take the plus first, minus 6 plus 7 is 1. And then minus 6 minus 7 is minus 13 then. So these are the two answers here, 1 and minus 13. Okay. Now that we've done those two methods, let's go back to sketching. Each method has an advantage and a disadvantage, but let's see what happens here. Can I continue?
Yeah.
Right, so sketch y equals x squared plus 13x plus 42. Okay, let's do this by factorizing. So we'll say y equals x, 6 and 7. Okay, now that we factorize, the way we draw this is by drawing firstly the roots and then the y-intercept. So the roots, that's when y equals 0. The root, remember, is where it crosses the x-axis. So if I put 0 in here, when this equals 0, what will x be? Yeah, minus 7 here and then minus 6. Okay, so this gives us the roots. The next point we want is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, that's when x equals 0. So if I put 0 in here or in here, doesn't matter which, we'll get what answer? 42. Because we'll either get 0, 0, 42, which is 42, or here if we put in 0, we'll get 6 by 7, which is 42 as well. So our quadratic goes through these 3 points, meaning it will look something like that. Okay, so that's one way to sketch it. Let's look at another way. So please write this down and we'll use complete the square next to draw. Okay, can I scroll down now? You have this?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let's say sketch y equals minus x squared minus 16x minus 61. Let's use that completing the square. Y equals minus x squared plus 16x plus 61. That's equal to minus x plus 8 squared. 61 minus 64 is minus 3, isn't it? So that's minus x plus 8 squared plus 3. So if I'm drawing this, where is the vertex? When x is minus 8 and y is 3, which is here. This is a max or a min? Max. And the other point I want, which is easy to find, is the y-intercept. Where does this cross the y-axis, if you look here? Yeah, when x is 0, y equals minus 61, which is going to be like way down here. Further down. So if this is the max, I need to draw it so that it's the same on the left and the right here. And close. close enough.
Mhm.
That's it there. And this is what it looks like then. Okay. Is it possible to find the roots here? It is. Let's find these roots as well. Here and here. So, how do we find these? When y is 0. So this is 0. Which means x plus 8 squared equals 3. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that means x plus 8 equals...
Root of 3.
No. Plus minus root 3. So can we find x?
Yeah.
We can. In this question, I didn't ask you to find the roots. I just wanted you to find the vertex and the y-intercept. But I wanted to show you that you can also find these for this question. Sometimes it's not possible because sometimes the graph is like this. So it's not possible. But in this case it was possible if you wanted to. Right, let's do another one. So if I was to draw this, straight away I can see where it crosses the y-axis. Where's that? At 10.
Yeah.
So I know there's one point here. But I find probably completing the square is the most useful method because you can find both the roots and the vertex at the same time. Y equals x plus 1 squared plus 9. So I can see that at minus 1 and 9, this is the vertex. Is it a minimum or a maximum? A minimum. So the graph looks like this. Does it have any roots? No, but let's see what happened if we tried to find the roots. So when y is 0, I get 0 equals x plus 1 squared plus 9. So I get minus 9 equals x plus 1 squared, which is a problem because earlier today we said that this is always positive and this is a negative. So you can't have something which is always positive equal to a negative yet. For those people who have studied it before, if I just put this on the board. Yeah. But we're not talking about that today. Not today. Okay? In the exam, please read the question carefully because they will ask you to sketch, but read the rest of the question to see if they ask you to show where the roots are. See if they ask you to show where the vertex is. And what else might they ask you to show on the graph? Y-intercept. Okay. Okay, I'll let you try these for a few minutes. I want beautiful pictures in your notebook. Okay, I'll just give you a couple to do. Let's see. Okay, let me write them down. Question 2. A, J, S. Question 3. A, F. Question 4. A, B. Question 5. A, B, and then 6. What looks like the best one for 6? I will just say that. Okay, try these ones now, please. Bruce, if you can, try to use a ruler. Try your best. Question, yeah? Problem?
Have two levels. X
Yep.
minus 2x 0
Yep.
equals 0.
Yep.
Right?
Right, yeah. You don't like 0?
Yeah, I like 0.
Oh, good.
I like everything 0.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, sure. What should we do? Okay, you should try doing this first. Just factorizing and solving what x is. Just find what x is for number 2 and 3. For this, you have to go use equation. This is a bit different. You have to kind of vertex. This is a turning point. I think that's actually about it.
Yeah, I don't have space to draw the answer at the back. That's what happens. Physics? Yeah, what about it? Yes. The hard. Would you... We can do these in class. People can watch the video. But if it's still confusing, we can do it in class then. You tried 6 and 7? Hard, yeah. What was number 6 about? Tugboats, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, the 2 tugboats, yeah. Yeah. I think when you see how it's done, you'll be disappointed. I think so. I think you'll look at it and go, of course. Okay, 2 more minutes and then we'll have a look at something else now. By the way, does anyone have a graphing calculator? No one has a graphing calculator? I used to, yeah. Do you know how to use those to make graphs? Yeah? Okay. You know these calculators, Jerry? No? Show them a graph and run those calculators, can you? You got a graph on it? Yeah. Jerry, check that out. Yeah, look at it. Now that's a calculator. It's like a computer, yeah. You have to use these in high school. Yeah. It was part of the course. Yeah. You can't use a normal one. Yeah.
Can you spell an exam?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like them because I think they're too expensive. How much is that? $100?
Yeah.
Too expensive. I mean, how much is a tablet? It's like nearly 200, you know.
This is €6.
Keeping it real. Okay, we'll continue now. So, what I want to do for the rest of the class is I just want to show you what your end of semester exam will look like, and I just want to do 2 short questions from it that you should be able to do now. So if I just switch here. There we go. Okay. So, your exam at the end of semester 1, which is worth 10%, the format is like this. You have 2 sections, an A and a B. Section A is 40% and section B is 60%. And it's a 2-hour exam with 10 minutes to read at the start. Section A, you can see, is about 10 short questions. And section B is 6 long questions, and you do 4 of them. So far, we can do 2 of the section A questions. The one we can do number 1 here, which is about parallel lines. And we could do number 3. Because it says solve and give your answer in surd form, I know it's impossible to use factorizing. So what's the other method you learned to solve? You have 2 methods. completing the square. So number 3 you can do by completing the square, and number 1 is just about parallel lines. How much time should you spend on each question? Well, roughly 1 mark is 1 minute. So the most, you should try to spend 3 minutes on this and 4 minutes on this. If you are taking too long, you probably should go to another question because you're spending too much time on it. Because the way the marks work is you get marks for your work. So for example, here, if you started and you go and you go and you go but you get stuck, it's better to stop and start a new question and get some marks. Just because you don't finish it doesn't mean you get 0. If you have some of it done, you can get some of these 3 marks. So it's important that if you spend too much time on it, you should stop and start a new question then. Leave space and continue maybe later. Okay? So we'll just do these 2 questions now. Yes, Mark, you're here to do some math questions? We're just about to start a parallel line question.
Well, I was waiting. Well, if you don't mind, I'll sit down somewhere and have a look and see what I could do. I know it's never a good time to interrupt math.
No, never a good time.
Never a good time.
Yeah.
Would these be one of the times when it's not as bad as another time, maybe?
Well, considering we were just about to start it, this would actually be a good time rather than when we just started. You have to say something to the business students.
Just very quickly, guys.
Yeah, they're very eager to do this question, so
No.
don't hold them up too long.
I won't delay it too long. I'll just call out 5 names for people. We'll start with individual tutorials. Get them going tomorrow. I meant, of course, to see in Connell's ESAP class, but that didn't work out, and issues there. Okay, tomorrow, and we'll fix the times in our business class tomorrow. I've got you in the business class before lunch, and then individual tutorial with some of you after. Drew, you here? Okay. See yourself. Hanukkah. Okay, I'll see yourself as well. Andy. Okay. Sarah. And Fahad. Great. Okay. 5 yourselves tomorrow, and we'll make a schedule and see everyone else on the time. Thanks very much. Can I stay and
You can. What I'm doing is we're just having a look at our question 1 of the exam.
Right.
So this is the first question they can do, and I was explaining to them because it's 3 marks, that gives them 3 minutes. So I'm going to give them 3 minutes to do this, and then I'm going to give them the answer on the board how to do it. Go on, sit down and have a go. I don't have any pen and paper. There.
I'll borrow a pen.
You'll borrow a pen there now.
Now I have no idea.
But you can check your answer and see how close you were. Go for it.
Cut me what you're doing. Okay.
That's too bad.
No, hang on. No, you don't know Mark's ability or lack of. So, okay. 3 minutes to do question 1. Go. 3 minutes. Go. Question 1. Some people still have to start. One minute down, 2 minutes to go.
Can I look at A2?
No. Go for it.
How do we get the parallel line at that point?
I think you might be thinking about it the wrong way. My advice is write something down, you might get a temp mark. 1 minute left. 1 minute. You can check, you can self-correct. You can self-correct. Yeah.
I was going to ask you how many marks I get out of 3.
Oh, we'll look at that later then, so I'll explain the marks as I'm going through it. Okay, that's time up. Let's have a look at this one now. We'll have a look now. Okay. So, what was the first thing you needed to do here?
Yeah.
What's the expression? You know, I mean, how do we say this in English to change this? Oh, come on, you know what it is.
Y is the subject.
No.
Y is the subject.
Thank you. Just that standardized. Make y the subject. Yeah. So we have y equals minus 3x plus 1. So what's the m here? Minus 3. So we have y equals minus 3x plus c. And to find the c, we use the 0.79. Put it into this, yeah? So we get 9 equals minus 21 plus c, so c equals 30. Y equals minus 3x plus 30. Now let's talk about the marks. So the way the marking works is, you always get 1 mark when you make it to the end. So that is 1 mark there. For knowing this is how to get the m, you get 1 mark here. And for knowing this is how to get the c, you get 1 mark here. So of the 3 marks, this is how you would break it down. So 1 mark for getting the m. If you weren't able to get the m, if you made some mistake, but you knew that you had to make y the subject, you could still get this mark. Even if you couldn't get the m, but you knew you had to put the point in to find the c, you get 1 mark for that. So in the maths exam, there's 2 types of marks, m marks and a marks. M marks mean you get the mark for knowing the right method. So here, knowing that the method to find the m was making y the subject, that's an m mark. This one here, knowing that you had to put the point in to get the c, that's an m mark for method. The last mark is an a mark for being accurate. You only get this mark if your answer matches this exactly right. Do you think you would get this mark if you wrote 3x plus y minus 30 equals 0? Would you still get this mark?
No.
Why not? Because the question said give your answer in this form. Y equals mx plus c. You have to be careful because sometimes they say give the answer in this form. And what do you think a common mistake is that students make? They forget to write this in that form, and so they've lost the last mark. After doing all the work, they don't get full marks because they didn't read the question carefully enough. Yeah, so just be careful with that. Yeah, okay, so just to finish, you should be able to do this question. I won't give you 4 minutes because, as you can see, you don't need the full 4 minutes. I'll just give you 2 minutes to do this one. You might have better luck with this one, solving a quadratic. You can use that minus b form, you recall? Yes, yeah. They haven't done that yet, so you're ahead of them.
But I don't remember it now. I remember the next day back in school a long time.
So if you can try number 3 here now. And I would like you to use completing the square method. You can use the other method. I'll prompt you. Minus b plus minus square root
Something over 2AC or 4AC.
Oh, I
over
know that.
2a. No. Only he's allowed to use that.
No. I like that one.
Yeah? Yeah. Cast your mind back. Starts with b squared. B squared minus AC, 4AC. And the whole thing is over 2a, not just what's in the root. That's the other one.
Good day and good.
Okay, are we ready to look at it now?
Yeah.
Yes? Well, I'll start it anyway. Okay, so what is the first thing to do here? Listen up. First step. What to do first? What's step 1? Come on, I'm sure somebody knows. What's the first thing to do?
Oh yeah, rearrange it.
Rearrange it until it equals 0. That was the very first step. So we'll have 3x squared minus 7x plus 3 equals 0. If we're completing the square method to solve this, yes, what's to do next? Divide by 3. So we have x squared minus 7 over 3x plus 1 equals 0. Next we'll have x minus 7 over 6, very good, squared, and then 1 minus 49 over 36 is
13 over 36.
minus 13 over 36 equals 0. Next, we need to take this to the right. So we have x minus 7 over 6 squared equals 13 over 36. Next, square root. So x minus 7 over 6 equals plus or minus root 13 over 6. Finally, x equals 7 over 6 plus or minus root 13 over 6. Why can I stop here?
No.
No?
No.
I should continue?
Yeah.
Right.
No, definitely not.
No.
Write out x equals or x.
No, you don't have to give the two answers. You can leave it with the plus minus. Okay, if you want to, you can say x equals 7 over 6 plus root 13 over 6, or 7 over 6 minus root 13 over 6. Do I need to do anything else? No, because the question said give the answer in surd form, and surd form is a plus b root c. So if you really want to, you can change it into this. But you don't have to, you can leave it like that. Why am I seeing confused faces? What's going on? Is this okay? No. What's the problem?
Yeah.
No problem?
No.
He has you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're sure? Okay. And for those people, there is another way to do this, which we'll learn about in the next class, where we say A equals 3, B equals -7, and C equals 3. And if you did it that way, you should still get the same answer here. For those students who did it that way. Same answer?
Looking good.
Looking good, okay. Alright, we'll leave it there, so.